Hey there, day 15. I'm in the same t-shirt as yesterday. We're going to do something a bit different today. We're just going to have a quick tour around the office. I'm going to take the gimbal for a walk. So here we are. This is the view from the other side. So the PC. So this is the desk. This is what I've been doing today. Let's see if I can work this gimbal. So this is a flat pack MeArm kit. So this is all the acrylic parts that your robot arm comes from. And there's 50 pokes out there. There's my lunch on the desk. A bit of Huel because I watch too much YouTube. Diet Coke without caffeine because pointless. Why not? Just checking to see if there's anything secret on my notebook that I just had in shot there, and there wasn't. So let's stand up and take a walk. So I mean, just from this view. So standing up from my desk, you can see there's a lovely painting from my family, a guitar that doesn't get used, some exercise equipment that's barely used. There's my camera bag. You can see there's a Vote Green Party poster because I recently stood in the local elections, unsuccessfully, unfortunately. Let's swing around this way, and so this is the laser. Mentioned before, so this was an eBay cheapie. I think this was like £1,000. When it came, you can see the piece of electrical tape on this handle, and that's because it used to feel all buzzy when you switched it on, and that was my first fix. What I actually did was take the earth connection out of the back and re-screw that. I think I've mentioned before as well. In fact, I probably filmed the video, but I don't know if I actually put it on. But so this is the bed, and I've just made a standoff. So these are like 20mm M3 screws with the same sort we use in MeArms. Well, we use M2.5 now, but we used to use M3, and they're put through some 3mm perforated aluminium, and we do that so that you don't get any of the monomer. That's me coughing on the underside of the acrylic. So as you saw just now with the plates, we are able to cut them without the peel off backing on. So the other mods that I've made on this while I'm touring the office. So this is a chiller which has no chilling capacity. So all that happens with these CW3000s, it says they're industrial chiller. So it just has a coil in it. The coolant that goes through your laser tube goes through these, and that's all. And there's a fan at the back, so that fan pumps away the heat. So it wasn't very efficient, didn't work particularly well. So what I've done is I've taken the coil out. You can see at the back here. I'll move this forward. So. Oh, this is the worst camera work in the world. So I've taken the coil out and I've put the coil into its own bucket of water. So there's coolant going through the system, so that's a closed loop, and then you've got this open loop system here. So then you just have a big box of cold water. And the good thing with that is if you're cutting all day and it gets particularly warm, you can just empty out the whole bucket. So you can like live swap as well. So while you're still cutting, you can just take the closed loop coil out of this bucket, empty out the whole thing, and start fresh. Or as you can see, there's just a big ice pack in there, so you can chuck ice packs in there as well. You don't have to worry about the coolant going through the laser because it's already there. So moving on. So this is my let's pan across this way. So this workbench that sits behind me, just a piece of ply on a couple of IKEA units. So this 3D printer for knocking up various things. This big robot arm actually belongs to a guy chap called Aaron, who often comments, and it's another shout out, Aaron. Hey, how you doing? So that's there as a sort of a project when I get the time, of course, and that'll be fun one day. There's a bunch of boxed up MeArm maker kits there. A shelf behind. It's mainly for showing off these medals because I'm running a lot at the moment. So they're participation medals. I don't win anything. I just turn up and grind through. So that's what those things hanging behind me are. Now let's spin around. The only thing with these gimbals, you have to learn how to control it. So I'm moving around. I'm trying to move the gimbal with me. Right, shelving units. So this is where the majority of stock is for MeArm. So these really useful boxes really soak up everything. You see I've got a bunch of those. So in the ones that are pinkish, those are all PCBs. I've got a bunch of the, these are the little connector cables, and the back to the sticky feet and more PCBs. And then loads of cardboard boxes. So if anyone remembers the MeArm Kickstarter, we're still using the MeArm Pi Kickstarter boxes. Like 4 years later, they've been owned by Kitronic in the meantime. These boxes have got a bunch of prototypes in. There is an Obot there. So that was probably from Obot's Kickstarter. I don't know if anyone wants to use this. This is an Edison. So there. There's a ukulele on the shelf there. My kids also use this office, you see, because it's a great space. So I think, as I mentioned before, so this office is something actually I built myself, which feels like quite an achievement. The big box that's open there, that is full of fun and interesting things. So this stuff is leftover stock from Fanoptics. So this is all of my odds and sods of LEDs. Some of them even still bagged up into 5s. So yeah, so Fanoptics was a business I had some years ago. I think I started Fanoptics in 2003, so 20 years ago, selling LEDs on eBay. And it then moved into doing open source hardware. So I've got some really early Arduinos and stuff like that. Went through eBay, opened its own store, and it had a pretty good run. But when MeArm came along, it sort of blew everything else I did out of the water. So I started doing that. This shelf is kind of a junk shelf, really. I mean, it's got some of the see, there's some cool robots there. So there's a little robot there called RT, and there's RT3000 and Botley by a company called Educational Insights. They're great. That's a joystick that I bought specifically for replaying the TIE Fighter games, but I haven't got around to that. These Crunch Lab kits by Mark Rober are utterly fantastic. They're really good. My kids build them. Really what they want is the golden ticket, which is a trip to Mark Rober's space in San Francisco, I think. And yeah, so they come through the door monthly. My kids rip them open to see if there's a ticket in there. If there isn't, well, there never has been the golden ticket. So they get popped on the shelf, and then usually my youngest son comes and builds them and loves it. So there's a Zoetrope there, which is a really nice kit. Down here is another sort of project that I've got on the go, which isn't related to, you can see my guitar bag there, which is something else that I rarely do. So these Brewdog boxes are no longer filled with beer, and the box at the bottom there, and the little box there, you can see C-3PO's butt. That is a small part of a Star Wars collection that I've had for years, and I want to actually sell it on. So I don't really do anything with it these days, so I'm getting used to actually selling it. And I've got, I mean, there's, you can see there's a nice boxed tripod cannon. There's a 12-inch C-3PO from 1978, some classic Dark Horse comics from the 90s, some really good comics which have come out in Canada. If you watch Clone Wars and things like that, you will see some of the characters and themes that come out of these comics, which is great. I think this limited edition Pepsi cup from when they remade the Star Wars trilogy in the late 90s before they released the terrible films, and there's a bunch more stuff in there as well. And this little desk is my wife's work area. As you can see, I keep it nice and clear for her to make it inviting. Those wine glasses aren't from use, they're actually for me to repair. They're chipped, so they're in here as another job for me. And outside, it's my chin-up bar. I did 5 in a row the other day, which is my all-time record. And yeah, as a small office, we're kind of back to it. So, and there's the desk from the other side. With this bar in front is for hanging. I was trying to do some photography yesterday, but actually decided that I need to get some better backdrops. So I was using like a sheet, but it looked pretty crappy. So I've ordered some polypropylene from Kitronic, so that should be coming soon with some more materials. But yeah, that's it. That's the MeArm office tour done. So hope you enjoyed the office tour. Thanks very much for watching another one of these daily diaries. This one obviously is a lot longer than before, but hopefully you got a bit more content. This gimbal is moving to the side and all over the place. So as usual, I'll ask you to subscribe and watch some more of these videos. Great, thanks for coming along. As I said yesterday, thanks for making it to the end. You're the best ones. Oh, I need to press the button.